Continuaremos ahora el debate general.
We shall now resume the general debate. The Assembly will now hear an address by His Excellency Mohammed Jusuf Kalla, Vice-President of the Republic of Indonesia. I request protocol to escort His Excellency.
Tengo el honor de dar la bienvenida.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations His Excellency Mohammed Jusuf Kalla, Vice-President of the Republic of Indonesia, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I join others in congratulating Her Excellency Maria Fernanda Espinosa on her election as President of the 73rd session of the General Assembly. Rest assured, Madam President, Indonesia will give its full support for the success of your presidency. I also congratulate His Excellency Mr. Miroslav Lajcak for his success in guiding the 72nd session. Let me also extend our deepest sympathies and condolence on the passing of the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. The world has lost a great peacemaker and true humanist. We will always remember his legacy. The world continues to face complex global challenges, where instabilities and conflict are still rampant. Extreme poverty and inequalities linger. Zero-sum thinking and narrow nationalism often prevail. And democracy and human rights violation still become day-to-day problem in our life. In times like these, we often mistakenly look to the leadership that only has great strength, a leadership that has superhero-like power. However, Madam President, the world does not need to look far from superheroes. We don't need to call on the strength of the Avengers, not her of the Justice League. When we in this room are global leaders, collectively we have the strength of superheroes. What we must do is harness our individual will, courage, strength, compassion, selflessness, and humility. This is very essence of a united nation, where we all believe in the strength and power of the mantra in UN Charter, we the people of the United Nations. As global leader, young and old, women and men, we must work together to encourage others in achieving the goals and objectives of the United Nations. This year's theme precisely captures what needed to be done by all of us as a community of nations, a community of leaders. The message is loud and clear. Pursuing peace, equality, and sustainability for our people require global leadership and shared responsibility. There is no effective leadership without genuine responsibility and vice versa. My first point, global leadership and responsibility determine the outcome of our quest of lasting peace. Peace is not merely the absence of war. It is also about the commitment to peace. It is nothing other than continuous effort to maintain stability and prevent conflict, from which we begin our pursuit of happiness. But this must start with genuine leadership. It must start first at home and in our own respective region. In our surrounding to create an ecosystem of peace, stability, and prosperity. Indonesia will always believe in the way of thinking. In doing so, of course, we cannot do it alone. This is why, as an elected non-permanent member of UN Security Council next year, we will need your continued support. We are grateful for your trust and confidence, and we will do our best to become your true partner of peace. Mr. Chairman, for the last 5 decades, we have enjoyed a long peace dividend in the Asia-Pacific region. Since geopolitical and geostrategic landscape are changing so fast, Indonesia sees the opportunity to also extend to the larger Indo-Pacific region. Allowing other ASEAN countries, we put forward an outlook of Indian and Pacific region as a single geostrategic theater. A region of cooperative, not competition, to support a greater global ecosystem of peace. Mr. Chairman, the commitment and responsibility to peace must be replicated across all regions, including in the Middle East. Central to peace and stability in the Middle East is long-standing question of Palestine. Our commitment to peace will be questioned if we cannot resolve the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Setbacks continue to persist as we speak. Imminent threat to status quo Jerusalem. Millions of Palestinian refugees are at stake. Humanitarian situation is getting worse day by day. The current situation does not only harm the peace process, it destroys the hope of Palestinian people, the hope that all of us for independent of Palestinian state. International community can no longer remain in standstill. We must call for an immediate negotiation that can make the two-state solution a reality. Indonesia will continue to stand with the people of Palestine until the day Palestine is truly independent. Mr. Chairman, at the global level, Indonesia is honored to have contributed to peacekeeping. Indonesia has now contributed more than 3,500 personnel in 9 UN missions as the 8th largest troop and police contributing country. We will not stop there. We will be ready to contribute 4,000 peacekeepers by 2019 with increasing proportion of female peacekeepers. Beyond number, we believe that the UN peacekeeping operation should continue to be UN flagship enterprise. But it can only be achieved by improving its capacity in delivering its mandate. That's why we have endorsed the action of peacekeeping declaration. I will begin my second point with a question. After peace is achieved, will that peace be enough? Please, peace could not be an end in itself. It must create an environment conducive for development. Peace and development must go hand in hand as they are mutually reinforcing. Only then can peace bring benefit for our people. It is for this reason that development goal and commitment were agreed upon. 2030 Agenda and Paris Agreement on Climate Change are two obvious examples. Another milestone has also been reached. The first ever global instrument on migration will be adopted in Marrakesh in December. Those agreements represent global leadership and share responsibility for a better future where no one is left behind. No matter big or small, north or south, developed or developing countries. In short, this agreement shows our collective compassion and selflessness, global leadership, and it is finest. The next question, how are we going to live into those commitments? The answer is that global leadership needed to create conducive environment to achieve this commitment. Very simple on paper, but not so straightforward in practice. 3 years after the adoption of 2030 Agenda, many success stories has been reached. However, result and progress might vary in different parts of the world. Lingering conflict, instability, protectionism, and uncertain global economic outlook still hamper our common effort to achieve the SDGs. Regrettably, time is not on our side. Some of the SDGs targets are running behind the schedule. To overcome, the pace of implementation must be accelerated. Decisive action must be taken to improve access for financing, capacity building, and technology. Global leadership and partnership must be pursued to reach win-win future. Mr. Chairman, as part of global leadership and responsibility, Indonesia has taken concrete steps to implement our commitment. Through thought and triangular cooperation, Indonesia has offered more than 300 capacity building programs with more than 6,000 participants across the globe, from Asia to Africa, from the South Pacific to the Caribbean. We will soon launch the Indonesian Aid for Development to reinforce the delivery to our international assistance. Moreover, early this year, Indonesia hosted the first ever Indonesian African Forum as a testament to our strong commitment to promote win-win cooperation with the African continent. Further, as a follow-up, we will convene Indonesia-Africa Infrastructure Dialogue next year, focusing on infrastructure to accelerate development in Africa. As the largest archipelagic country in the world, we are fully aware of the adverse impact of climate change, as is mostly faced by small island development states. The convening of the Archipelagic and Island State Conference and our Ocean Conference next month are proof of our firm leadership and commitment to addressing this matter. Peace and development will only be sustained if we have an equitable society. This leads me to my third point on creating a society that is just, inclusive, democratic, and respectful of human rights. An equitable, tolerant, and moderate society is key in addressing major challenges of violent extremism and radicalism. Injustice, exclusivity, extreme poverty, illiteracy, and massive youth unemployment must be uprooted. Hard on soft power approach must be improved. For this reason, we have amended our national law and strengthening our soft approach in adapting with new evolving challenges. The last horrific terrorist attack in Surabaya, Indonesia, has shown that the evolution of violence by terrorists knows no bound. Using children as weapons can never be right. But this attack will only strengthen our determination to work more closely with the international community. Mr. President, to create a peaceful, sustainable, and equitable societies, all countries must respect international law and principles of the UN, including respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. In this connection, Indonesia strongly deplores the matter of one country to support even worse become part of the separatist movement. This act of hostility has no place in the UN system, an act which clearly in violation of UN principles. For far too long, Indonesia has chosen to build a friendly relation with this particular country, including in showing our solidarity and sympathy during difficult times. But when such hostile acts continue, Indonesia will not remain silent. Indonesia will not let any country undermine its territorial integrity. Like my other sovereign country, Indonesia will firmly defend its territorial integrity. I repeat, will firmly defend its territorial integrity. To conclude, Mr. Chairman, I would like to reiterate that peaceful, equality, and sustainability society require a more responsible, and credible United Nations. We, United Nations, must show leadership. This is why the UN reform is inevitable. Otherwise, The UN will be absolute to answer the need and challenge of today and tomorrow. The goal of UN reform is crystal clear. It must be better positioned to help countries sustain peace and achieve the SDGs. All of us has a role to play to keep the UN relevant and to ensure that the UN deliver. Indonesia stands ready to contribute to this noble goal for the sake of humanity. I thank you.
En nombre de la Asamblea.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank His Excellency Mohammed Jusuf Kalla, Vice-President of the Republic of Indonesia, for the statement just made, and I request protocol to escort His Excellency.